Hello everyone. So today we are back with another video, and today we will discuss about the common mistakes we often make when we use the ReactJS useEffect tool. So let's start. Okay, so the first point is not using a dependency array. So what is that? Let's quickly take a state variable here. I will use 0 as the initial value, and I will take the useEffect hook here, and I will write useEffect runs. Okay, so I will use the number variable here, and to update the value of that number variable, I will use a button with a click event, handle number, and I will declare the function here. Which will increment my number variable by 1. Okay. Sorry, this should be cons. I will use a block level element here so that it comes to the second line. Okay, fine. So now, if I click on this button, we will see that each time I click on this button, that useEffect runs message is showing here, which is coming from this useEffect hook. And every time the component is rendering, this useEffect hook is running. So this is the first mistake. We should always use a dependency array here to avoid this mistake. So you can see the useEffect runs message for the first time, but from now on, if I click on the button, the component is re-rendering, but we cannot see the useEffect runs message again. So that's because of this dependency array. So the second point is forgetting to use any dependency inside the dependency array. What does that mean? We can see that we are using a blank array here. So it means whenever the component renders for the first time, then only the useEffect hook will be running. So let's see, if I refresh this page, we can see that useEffect runs. We can see this message. So useEffect hook is running here for the first time. But if we click on the button, we cannot see this message again because we are using a blank array here. What if we use the number variable as a dependency here? So we are telling that whenever the number variable gets updated, we need to run this useEffect hook again. So let's see if this works. Yes, we can see now that each time I click the button, we can see the useEffect runs message in the console panel again. So that's because of this number variable dependency. Okay, so the next point is primitive and non-primitive dependency. So basically we use the dependency here to make sure that whenever is this number variable getting updated, we can implement any special logic, or we can do some actions. So here this action is console log useEffect runs. So we are doing this action when the number variable is getting updated. So this is a primitive data type. But what will happen if we use a non-primitive data type? Let's quickly create another state variable, and this time I will create an object. I will copy this useEffect hook and I can write user name user.name. I will comment out this button as of now. Change name, handle name, and I can create another paragraph element and I will use username here. Okay, sorry, I forgot to define the function. Okay, so if I click on this change name button, we can see that the value is changed. Now what will happen if I click this button again? We can see this value is not getting changed, but this useEffect hook is running again. Still it is running, but this value is not getting updated. So why it is happening? Because this is non-primitive data type. So for this kind of data types, array and object, what happens whenever we are using this data types as a dependency, it will create another reference value and it will compare by that value, and it is always different from this initially created user object. So that's why that value is not same and the useEffect hook is running. So how to prevent this? We can use another useful React hook here, that is use memo. And I will tell here that when username is actually getting changed, then only it should update. And now I will change the dependency here. So now for the first time when the value is getting changed, it is running. But if I click on this button again, it will not run this useEffect hook because I have changed the dependency here, and it is checking that when this value is actually getting changed, the username, then only we should use this useEffect hook. Okay, so this is for the non-primitive data type. If you want to know more about the primitive data type and non-primitive data type and how JavaScript stores this kind of data types in the memory, the stack memory and the heap memory, I will include a video link here. You can check from there. Okay, so we can do another thing. We can directly use the username dependency here, then also it will work fine. Let me reload this page. If I click on the change name, first time it is getting updated and the console log is running, but from now on it will not run the useEffect hook again. Okay, so the last thing we will discuss in this video is not cleaning up properly. So whenever we use some asynchronous function like set interval and we use some API fetch and we don't clean up that useEffect hook, it can create some serious problem. So we will see the example. I will use a set interval function here. And inside this, I will set the number as number plus 1. So we can see that it got updated for the first render and then it stops. As you already know, if we use the blank array, it only runs for the first render. So that's fine. We already know that. But what will happen if I click on this button, we can see that this number is incrementing and then it is going back to the previous number, because this set interval function is using the actual reference value, what is 0, which is 0. So when I am clicking this number, it is getting updated and then it goes back to the initial value. So this is a problem. Okay, even if we use this number variable as a dependency, then we can see the problem here. We can see some glitch. Okay, so let me reload this page. It is working fine, but if we click, we can see some glitch is happening here. Okay, so we can use a special technique here, that is checking the current value, then only updating it. So this is a special tip for this video. Let me now reload this page. Okay, it is still getting updated abruptly. So that's because we didn't clean it up properly. So that is why it is happening here. Now if I use the cleanup function here, which is a return, and we use the clear interval function. Okay, we need to define it inside a variable. Let me reload this page. Oh my god, I think it. See, that's the problem. Okay, now I have used the cleanup function and now it is working properly. Now if I click, we can see that it is updating properly. It is not going back to the previous number, or it is not happening any infinite loop is creating here. So it is working properly. So we cleaned it up using the return function, and we have used this special technique. So we are checking the current number, then we are incrementing the value. What if we don't use this? You can see it is still working properly because we are using this number dependency here. What if we remove this number dependency here and reload this? See, the problem is happening again. Okay, but if we use this technique, then we can see it is working properly. Okay, so that was all about this video. Let me know how did you like it, and thank you for watching this video. Have a great day, have a great future.